You might think your nightly routine is harmless, brushing your teeth, turning off the lights, maybe sipping a soda, a sweet tea, or a bottled coffee to help you unwind before bed. But what if I told you that one small familiar habit could silently raise your risk of stroke overnight? Not because of your age, not because of your family history, but because of a simple choice you repeat without thinking. A drink that seems innocent, but may be triggering dangerous changes in your heart and blood vessels while you sleep. No pain, no warning, just one quiet night that could end without you ever waking up. In this video, we're going to show you what really happens inside your body when you drink these harmless beverages after dinner, and why people over 50 need to be especially careful. Real stories, real science, and most importantly, real solutions. Because once you understand the hidden danger behind that one evening drink, you'll realize it's not too late to protect your heart, your brain, and your future. Keep watching. What you learn next could save your life tonight. 1. The seemingly harmless habits. Many people over 50 stick to a nightly ritual, sipping on soda, sweet iced tea, or a bottled coffee after dinner, thinking it's a harmless way to unwind. But according to health experts from institutions like the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health and the American Heart Association, these evening indulgences may actually cause dangerous fluctuations in blood pressure and sharply increase stroke risk while you sleep. Now picture this. It's a peaceful weekend morning. You wake up, but your loved one doesn't. Hours earlier, they seem fine. Just enjoyed their usual can of soda before bed. That little habit, repeated night after night, led to a tragedy no one saw coming. Meet Richard, a 62-year-old grandfather from Ohio. For over 20 years, he'd relax each night after dinner with a cold soda while catching the evening news. He believed that avoiding smoking and alcohol was enough to stay healthy, and a bit of sweetness at night couldn't hurt. But the next morning, his wife found him unresponsive. Paramedics arrived quickly, but doctors confirmed Richard had suffered a silent stroke during the night. No warning signs, no plea for help. When doctors reviewed his medical history, they discovered something alarming. His blood pressure spiked each night, and the sugar and caffeine-laden soda habit had silently overloaded his cardiovascular system. Then there's another story from a small Texas town where a group of women met every Friday night for what they called their golden hour. They laughed, chatted, and relaxed over sweet tea, her gentle companion, as Ellen, 58, described it. But one Friday, Ellen didn't show up. The next week brought the worst news. She'd had a minor stroke during the night, mere hours after their last gathering. Her blood pressure had spiked suddenly, disrupting her heart rhythm while asleep. When her doctor learned about that bottle of sweet tea, he simply shook his head. These drinks feel harmless. They taste comforting. But for aging hearts and vessels, they may be quietly doing damage. So what's happening inside your body that makes that one sugary or caffeinated drink so dangerous and potentially life-threatening in your sleep? And what worst-case scenario could unfold silently under the cover of darkness? Stay tuned, because in the next section, we're going deep into the hidden mechanisms at play and why your next bedtime drink could change everything. 2. Stroke during sleep, the silent killer. For most people, going to sleep is the safest part of the day. You dim the lights, lie back, close your eyes, and expect to wake up refreshed. But what if that sense of safety was an illusion? What if your body, instead of recovering, was silently approaching a breaking point? Doctors have long been concerned about what they call silent strokes. These are strokes that happen with no obvious symptoms, no slurred speech, no drooping face, no sudden collapse. They often strike in the middle of the night when you're least aware and least able to respond. According to data from the American Stroke Association, more than 60% of strokes occur during sleep or in the early hours of the morning. That means most people don't even know it's happening until the damage is already done. And by the time someone finds them, often hours later, the crucial golden window for treatment has closed. So what makes the nighttime so dangerous? One major reason is that the body is supposed to rest at night. Your heart rate slows. Your blood pressure naturally drops. This nightly dip is essential for cardiovascular recovery. But when you introduce caffeine or sugar into your system too late in the day, through soda, sweet tea, or bottled coffee, you disrupt that process completely. Caffeine blocks adenosine, a neurotransmitter that helps your brain relax and enter deep sleep. Without it, your nervous system stays stimulated. Your heart keeps working harder. Your blood vessels remain tight under pressure. Add sugar to the mix, and you've just triggered a spike in blood glucose, forcing your pancreas to release insulin and your entire system to work overtime. Instead of resting, your body spends the night compensating, correcting, and struggling to stabilize. This is why researchers are now drawing direct links between evening consumption of sugary or caffeinated drinks and elevated stroke risk. A study published in the journal Stroke found that drinking just one sugar-sweetened beverage per day raised the risk of stroke by 22%. Two servings a day, that increased the risk to 37%, especially for hemorrhagic strokes, which are often fatal. Another major concern is that even diet sodas, often seen as a healthier alternative, aren't safe. Artificial sweeteners like erythritol have been linked to clot formation and increased cardiovascular risk. In fact, one study showed that people who consume one or more diet sodas per day were nearly 3 times more likely to suffer an ischemic stroke or be diagnosed with dementia. The danger grows with age. After 50, your arteries begin to stiffen. Your blood pressure becomes more sensitive to small changes. The liver processes caffeine and sugar more slowly. What your body tolerated at 30 now pushes it closer to the edge. A soda that gave you a little energy before bed in your younger years could now be quietly raising your blood pressure while you sleep, and you won't even notice. Worse, most people don't realize how long these effects last. A single energy drink or strong cup of coffee can keep your blood pressure elevated for 6 hours or more. Even decaf coffee, though reduced in caffeine, still contains enough to affect people with heart rhythm issues or high blood pressure. For someone over 50, it doesn't take much. So before you reach for that sweet drink or warm coffee late at night, pause. Ask yourself if it's really helping you wind down, or if it's forcing your heart and brain to keep fighting while you sleep. Stroke doesn't knock. It doesn't wait until morning. It often happens quietly in the most vulnerable hour. In the next section, we'll explore how aging changes your body's ability to handle these nighttime threats, and what simple steps you can take to protect yourself. Because if you understand what's happening inside you, you can make one small change tonight that might save your life tomorrow. 3. After 50, must change your nighttime routine. There's something deeply unsettling about a stroke that happens without warning, in the silent hours of your sleep. You don't wake up feeling strange. There's no dizziness, no facial droop, no numbness in your arm or leg. You simply don't wake up. What should have been a restorative night turns fatal because caffeine and sugar have quietly eliminated the body's natural healing rhythm. At bedtime, your blood pressure is meant to dip, giving your heart a chance to rest. But if you introduce stimulants, like a soda or sweet tea, the pressure never drops. Your heart keeps pumping hard, your fragile blood vessels struggle, and sometime between 2 and 3 in the morning, a vessel can burst or become blocked. By dawn, the golden window for saving your brain has already closed. As we age, our bodies become less resilient. Imagine yourself as a tree weathered by many seasons. The roots no longer cling as deep, and even a gentle gust, like late-night caffeine, can snap branches or, worse, uproot the tree completely. That's why too many people in midlife never wake up. It's not dramatic, it's stealth. But here's the thing, this doesn't have to happen. You can change the ending. Start tonight by putting down that soda or turning off the coffee maker before dinner. Instead, choose a glass of water, an unsweetened herbal tea, or a warm, low-fat milk to soothe your body into healing sleep. Stroke doesn't knock, a cardiologist once said. It slips in, silent, and sometimes it takes everything. You don't need to make a grand gesture to protect yourself. Just let your heart and brain rest. That late-night coffee? It might not wake you, but it could be your last. Let me ask you, how often do you reach for coffee, soda, or sweet tea after 7 p.m.? Share your habits in the comments below. Your story could help someone avoid a silent, deadly twist in their night. For many Americans, the mindset is, I only had one drink. What's the big deal? Just a soda after dinner or a small cup of coffee before bed. Harmless habits, right? But they're quietly pushing you toward heart attack, hypertension, disrupted sleep, even stroke. The issue isn't the quantity, but the timing and the way your body responds as it ages. According to the American Heart Association, over 75% of adults over 50 consume caffeine daily, and nearly half regularly drink sugary beverages. But once you hit midlife, your body doesn't process caffeine or sugar like it used to. Organs slow, your cardiovascular system becomes more sensitive. It feels the impact more deeply. As a cardiologist in California put it, as we age, our blood vessels stiffen and lose elasticity. That makes us more vulnerable to spikes in blood pressure from things like caffeine and sugar. What you could handle at 30 passes right through, but at 50 it hits harder, especially at night when your nervous system should be winding down. Longitudinal studies from Harvard and other institutions paint a stark picture. One 10-year study following Americans over 50 revealed that those who drank more than one sugary soda a day had a 16% higher risk of stroke and a 20% higher risk of heart disease compared to non-drinkers. And if those drinks were consumed after 7 p.m., the risk of developing heart rhythm disturbances while asleep nearly doubled. Another study published in Circulation found that people who regularly drank sugary beverages had a 26% higher risk of developing high blood pressure and a 31% higher risk of heart failure. And this risk held true even for those who exercised regularly. Physical activity didn't fully offset the harm of too much sugar after dark. It's not just about sugar or caffeine. Decaf coffee, iced tea, diet sodas, they all carry risks. In one real-life example from Ohio, a middle-aged couple followed a nightly ritual of drinking decaf before bed, assuming it was harmless. Yet decaf still contains 2 to 5 mg of caffeine, enough to disrupt heart rhythm in someone with a sensitive system. That night, one of them experienced dizziness and blood pressure spikes. It turned out to be arrhythmia. It wasn't the caffeine itself, but at that age and that body, even small amounts can swing the sensitive balance. Even outside caffeinated drinks, the broader context of daily life matters. A study reviewing ultra-processed foods, including sugary and artificially sweetened beverages, found they were tied to a higher risk of stroke and dementia. Over 11 years, participants consuming more of these ultra-processed items, including those favorite nighttime drinks, had roughly an 8% higher risk of stroke, with memory decline also creeping up. So if you find yourself thinking, I only had one cup, could it really be that serious? The answer, especially after 50, is probably yes, particularly if you're managing high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or dealing with family history of heart disease. Each body reacts differently, and there's no universal safe amount. But when midlife arrives, caution isn't optional. It's critical. Here's the bright side. You don't need to overhaul your life to make a difference. The goal isn't to eliminate everything. It's about being mindful and making smarter choices. What if that small nightly habit is the one thing standing between you and another trip to the emergency room? If you're curious about other subtle, daily actions that might be silently damaging your heart, keep watching. In the next section, we'll dive into concrete alternatives to support your heart and brain before bed. Simple, science-backed evening drinks and routines that help your body truly rest, rather than fight against what it drank out of comfort. 4. What should you drink at night? After the age of 50, the body becomes more sensitive, especially at night. The heart, brain, and circulatory system all rely on restful sleep to recover. But what you drink in the hours before bed can either support that healing process or quietly sabotage it. So what should you choose if you want to protect your heart and brain after dark? Let's begin with something simple: warm water. Often overlooked, a glass of warm water before bed can help regulate body temperature, improve circulation, and gently flush out toxins from the liver. It's especially helpful for those managing blood pressure. According to sleep researchers, hydration at night helps reduce nighttime blood pressure spikes, which are one of the top triggers for silent strokes in older adults. And because it contains no sugar, no caffeine, and no additives, warm water is the safest foundation for a nightly ritual. Another excellent option is herbal tea, particularly caffeine-free blends like chamomile, ginger, and peppermint. Chamomile is well known for its calming effects, but studies also show it may improve sleep quality and reduce nighttime anxiety in older adults. Peppermint tea helps relax the muscles, including blood vessels, which lowers your heart rate and encourages deeper rest. Ginger tea offers anti-inflammatory benefits that support cardiovascular health and reduce the buildup of silent inflammation that can strain aging arteries. Warm, low-fat milk is another time-tested choice. It contains tryptophan, an amino acid that helps your brain produce melatonin and serotonin, which regulate sleep and mood. Plus, its calcium content supports the nervous system and may help reduce nighttime palpitations or restlessness, especially in people over 60. But as important as it is to know what to drink, it's just as vital to remember what to avoid. Drinks containing caffeine, even in small amounts like in decaf coffee, or sugar or artificial sweeteners, can silently disrupt your body's ability to rest. Recent studies, including one published in Nature Medicine, suggest that common sweeteners like erythritol may increase the risk of blood clots and cardiovascular events in older adults. Meanwhile, caffeine keeps your nervous system activated long after you fall asleep, raising your blood pressure and interfering with your body's natural nighttime dip. A well-known cardiologist once said, "If something helps your mind relax but forces your heart to work harder, that's not true relaxation." And that's exactly what many evening drinks do. They offer short-term comfort but long-term damage. So tonight, before you reach for that sweet tea or evening coffee, ask yourself, is it worth the risk? One small change, a different drink, a different habit, could be the thing that protects your brain from a silent stroke or your heart from years of quiet strain. Thank you for watching until the end of this video. We know your time is valuable, and we truly appreciate you spending a few minutes with Senior Health Guide. We hope what you've learned today helps you see just how powerful one small habit, like your evening drink, can be, especially after the age of 50. If your goal is to protect your heart, support your brain, and sleep more deeply, it all starts with simple, intentional choices. A cup of herbal tea instead of soda, skipping caffeine after dinner, letting your body rest instead of making it fight overnight. Now we'd love to hear from you. What do you normally drink before bed? And after today's video, is there one change you're ready to make tonight? Drop your answer in the comments, because your story might help someone else make a life-saving change too. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos. Senior Health Guide is here every week with practical, science-backed tips to help you take control of your health after 50. And if someone you love still drinks soda or coffee late at night, share this video with them. It might just be the wake-up call they need. Take care and sleep well tonight.